What's happening? Welcome back to the Top Hat Guy Show, and I just wanted to continue on my idea to to further help the community. So in my previous one, the first phase was to make a platform for local musicians of all kind and artists of all kind, as well as um, bring up some business for local food truck vendors. I only listed a couple of things like vendors that relate to the local music scene, but you can have so many. Like, you can have like even local musician shops that sell like trumpets and guitars and so on could just put up a stand there as well, or people who craft their own homemade guitars and stuff, because I know some people who can do that. They could go with these things and sell their services of modifying and reestablishing guitars and stuff. Because I know a couple of people. My uncle Reed, for example, he straight up can he can take a broken guitar, put it back together again, and have the freaking tuner down here where you strum rather than up here at the head, and it still sounds beautiful and look unique as hell, and just it's phenomenal. There's so many creative people like that out in the world, and anyhow, there's potential. There's so much potential there. And then the second phase was I advised to use the money earned, because all the money earned for this festival or this whole thing here goes back into the community. Every cent of it goes right back into the community, right? And hold up just 1 second, y'all. I'm so sorry. Oh, shoot. I'm so sorry, guys. My dogs needed food and then I knocked over the camera. Sorry about that. Anyhow, so second phase was what I would use the money for, which would, in this case, be homeless shelters and rehabilitation centers. I'm sorry, I'm just so much. I'm passionate about it, so I'm scrambling my words because I'm talking fast. But yeah, that would be how I would use the money for. Again, all the money in phase one would be earned to go right back into the community, and be used however I guess the mayor of the town or whoever is in charge of the treasury of the money of your town, that's earned and stuff, goes to, right? So I don't know if that goes to, I don't, like I said, the idea ain't completely polished because I have some gaps of knowledge that I don't really know to complete this idea myself. That's why I'm kind of making these videos, and why I've also proposed this idea to a couple people who would know some local officials, but they didn't message me back, so, or even go further with me on this idea. So I'm instead hoping I can share this with the whole world, and maybe another community can pick this idea up and actually shed some light across and maybe start something. That's my dream, is to start something that will help people. So anyways, the idea of homeless shelters and rehabilitation centers is just because those are just two things that really are just establishments to truly help the local population of people who have kind of lost themselves and need help finding themselves, or finding themselves for the first time, because some people lose themselves to drugs because they've never knew themselves to begin with and found themselves through drugs. So again, I'm not entirely I'm not a professional, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a professional rehabilitation center helper or anything like that. I don't know what the title is, but y'all know it. I'm not at that. I'm just a human being that has a heart and cares and sees these suffering people around, other human beings around me suffering. And so the phase two also kind of interverts with phase three. So with phase three, any of the people in the rehabilitation center that have good conduct, have showed that they are on the track to recovery and really show they're striving and fighting their addiction, whatever ails them, right? I think they should then, the rehabilitation center should not only connect with these local buses that can take them to like hiking locations and parks and stuff, just places that really can help these people exercise and just get their demons out in a constructive way, not a way that they've been using with addiction, right? Again, I'm not an expert, but you see where I'm going. Like, just some activity, some hobby, something to help change their life, give them a meaning until they can find a new purpose that doesn't hurt them, and I think another good partnership would be local kill shelters in your area teaming up with rehabilitation centers. I think this should have been done before this idea. I think this should have just been a stable with any type of addiction. I mean, if you have a place that's going to be killing animals anyways, and you have these addicts who just need someone to love or someone that loves them, how does no one cross this together already, guys? Give these people and these animals that's going to be put down, like these two suffering souls, bring them together, because they obviously need each other anyways. It's just a win-win for both parties involved, as long as obviously the person that's in addiction will take care of the lost dog. But I mean, hell, even if they don't, like, the worst case scenario is the dog lives a little suffered life with an addict, but like lives longer than in the kill shelter where it's about to be put down, right? So like, obviously I don't want a kill shelter dog to go home to an addict that's then just going to be mistreated. I'm 100% against that, obviously. But I'm just saying, even in that scenario, it's probably a better scenario than just being immediately put down with after living in a shelter for however many months before they just have to put the animal down, because of storage space or whatever the situation for it is, right? And obviously there's some dogs that have to be put down because they're vicious and violent, won't be because of that, but some of that times can be cured too. Like, I have so much hope for animals, like curing animals of their aggression, because that can happen too. I've seen it happen, and it just, some animals just need love, and some people just need love. Some addicts need love too, guys. And that's the idea for the third phase, is bringing those two worlds together, giving both broken souls, someone to love. And then after that, I think another team up that just makes sense to me is rehabilitate, like, veterans in this rehabilitation scenario. I think the rehabilitation center should also team up with Habitat for Humanity, and every single veteran that's in this program should get a free home. I wholeheartedly fought with my life on that thought, that I think every single veteran of every country deserves a home in their country, and I would be gladly to die for that thought and idea right there. And I think everyone should, because what kind of world doesn't give a person fighting and risking, or willing to risk their life, not give them a home in the country that they're risking their life for when they come home finally, or they retire, or whatever? Like, what kind of world? So, and I mean, I'm sure there are programs with Habitat Humanity that does work with veterans like that, but I just think that would be a great team up. I think these are just ideas that your local community could really thrive off of. I have so many ideas that I think could help the community, and I've told so many people, and my voice don't really get heard a lot. So maybe using this platform, maybe it can get heard a little bit more. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate y'all listening to me. I know this was a little off of what I usually do, but thanks for listening to me and seeing here through it nonetheless. I'll see you next time. Have a great day.